Right.
Yes, it is time for Ump Show. And you'd be shocked, maybe not, how many texts I got, even from people that work in the industry that aren't allowed to say anything. And they're like, you guys better get after it on Ump Show today. And I'm like, why? And they're like, all sending me the same few tweets and Instagram posts. So we can show the umps that are listed for the World Series. And again, we're not taking personal shots. I don't know these human beings. Some of you guys do, but it's a performance based world, especially in sports. And here are the following umpires that will be behind the plate for each particular game. You see them on the screen right now. I'm not going to read each name, but Umpire Auditor, which does a great job on socials of pointing out where umps rank, gave us the rankings for each umpire, and it has people confused. And by rankings, I mean, how are they doing behind home plate? That's what we care about. I don't care about anything else. I don't care if they're nice or mean. I don't care how many years they've been doing it. It's performance, right? MVP is who was the best or most valuable player, whatever it is. I don't care how old they are. I don't care about anything. And game one is Carlos Torres. He's ranked 32nd out of 90 qualified umps. This is his first World Series. Andy Fletcher, 73rd. This is his first World Series. So 73rd out of 90. Mark Carlson, 49th. Doug Eddings, 60th. 18th for Mark Ripperger, who is by far the top ranked of the bunch here. It's his first World Series. Chad Fairchild's 37. 37 ranked, not age 37. Todd Tishner is 24th on the list. And we can show some of their calls as well. So, guys, help me out here, because one of my buddies who's pretty high up in the sports media world was like, can you explain this to me? And I'm like, they have their own proprietary reward system within the league, and that's how they come up with something like this, as far as I know. And he's like, do you know about it? I'm like, no, and I'm pretty sure it's not transparently out there. So everybody is left lost. And all I'm saying is the heat is on, Cam, because if we have mistakes, the whole world is watching, more so, I think, than any time in the modern era with social media. And we're looking at some of the calls right now. So they better have the performances of their lives. Like, again, Andy Fletcher, don't know him, but you ranked
Terrible.
73 out of 90.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Terrible. Not even terrible.
You see
Terrible.
that call?
I've
Look at this
I've got
call.
I've been thrown. I've got tossed a couple times, and Andy Fletcher definitely on the end of those, arguing balls and strikes. He's I don't know. It's just to see this lineup for the World Series is so frustrating, especially being in the box personally and being I don't want to say screwed by these guys, but and then watching the clip. This is what I remember as a player. I remember these guys being bad. Like you said, nobody cares how nice you are. But even again, like Andy Fletcher, he's not the most friendly guy you can talk to. As a hitter, you want to know, hey, is that the bottom? Is that as far out as you're going? And the ego is so huge. It's hard to see this. And after some of the calls that I've watched throughout the postseason, these are big moments, right? One pitch can change an at bat for either guy, right? The hitter or the pitcher, and seeing these guys continue to get rewarded for not doing well is insane to me. But like you said, Scott, they're going to have to be on their best performances, because they are going to be watched now with the landscape and scope of things. They're going to be a huge magnifying glass on their performances.
So I threw a tweet out there after they showed these rankings and everything. We did it. We did it in baseball. The two best teams are here. Why can't that standard be held across the board? Seven
Hey
guys
man,
that work their tail off to get here. I'm not saying they didn't work hard. I'm saying work their tail off to be the best, to be in this situation, so we have the best outcome for what happens on the field. And I love Mark Carlson. Mark Carlson is a super nice guy. Some of the other guys on this list are exactly like Cam said, like they just don't talk a lot. So maybe that's because I know three of the guys, they don't say much. They don't say much back there. As a guy that talked to umpires a decent amount, they don't say much. So you sit there and you go, well, maybe that's good for the World Series. You don't want an umpire really chatting stuff up, really getting, chatty with the hitters and the catcher. I don't know what goes into that proprietary formula, but this is the stage for the best. That's what you did to be a big leaguer, is try your hardest, do your best, or you get sent down and you don't get to play in the World Series, or you get eliminated, you don't get to play in the World Series. I don't think it's too much to ask to set umpires to that standard too.
Yeah, I agree. There's some good comments in here too, Andy. So they skipped the top 17 umps. Like, cool. We skipped the top 17.
Probably younger guys. They're probably younger guys they're hungry to stay up there, because younger guys, for people who don't know, there's actually, I think there's 90 full-time, but there's others that get called up and down. I'm not 100% sure on that, but either way, those guys know if they don't do well, if they are seen in these games, if they're tossing dudes in games because they have bad calls, that means they're being seen, and we're probably not going to call you the next time we need a fill-in. So that's where the majority of those top 17 are.
Hey, Kratzy, what do you remember the umpire's name? The guy who saved the guy's life? Was it Pat Holbrook? Younger guy?
Pat Hoberg, yeah. Pat Hoberg.
Holberg. He's pretty good. I mean, not the friendliest guy, but like balls and strikes, was he pretty good? I couldn't remember. Like he was
really
good,
but
point, right?
He's under investigation, so he didn't work this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can Google.
He was really
Google
good.
What's going on there? But yeah,
he had some great games. Yeah. Not the friendliest guy at all, but tiny zone.
When he's in there, take the over. When Pat Hoberg comes in, take the over, because it is a tiny zone, which is, I shouldn't say a tiny zone. He's just calling the zone. He had a perfect game, I think, in the playoffs last year.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, they're definitely, I can tell you right now, there are definitely better umpires that they could have got for this series, for sure. And it's without question.
I can't believe it's Andy Fletcher's first World Series ever. I was surprised by that, because he's been around. Yeah, but he's been around. He's not. You know, Cam, he ain't part of that. He ain't part of that top 5 clan that doesn't do well. And you know who those 5 guys are.
Yeah, but he's 73rd out of 90. He's 73rd out of 90.
Yeah,
it's one thing to at least still be an umpire in the bigs with a scoring system like that, where you're ranking that low. Okay. But we're going to have you on the grandest stage behind the plate for game 2?
Kratzy, I'm dealing with PTSD. I'm thinking about Andy Fletcher ringing me up against Chris Archer, and I'm like, dude, he's not trying to throw me a strike. What are we doing, Andy? Like, give me a chance. Like, I'm literally sorry, I'm having moments right now. Andy Fletcher, he's horrible.
Dude, it's insane. A colossal Jaguar with a sarcastic comment. Angel in the review booth, like Angel Hernandez. I'm like, I don't get it. There are a lot of questions and theories, right, Michael? Kind of like when a professor gets tenure. Yeah. So for me, I mean, I know some people are like, well, Angel Hernandez actually brought a ton of attention to the sport. And there are theories like, are a few bad calls good for the game? I mean, you get social media freaking out. No, I promise you that is not what is going on behind the scenes. I promise you there are not meetings where they go, let's pick a couple guys that are going to stir the pot. That don't go that far. Like, it is not that evil behind the scenes. What happens behind the scenes is just straight up politics. And you have to deal with, a league of executives, a union of executives, what is fair, who has worked the longest, right? Who has gotten an opportunity and who hasn't, who has gotten into it with a player or something like that and who hasn't, right? There are issues behind the scenes that we don't know about. But here's my point. I don't give a fuck. I just want the best umpires who know how to call balls and strikes to be calling the World Series with the Yankees and the Dodgers. That's it. I understand they have to negotiate this, right? Like Kratz, my guess, because I'm not trying to put all the blame on the league either. My guess, the umpires union's like, hey, here's how we're going to lay this out. How are we going to reward certain umps within our group? I'm not taking them off the hook in an instance like this. That's their job, to represent everyone, not the top 10, everyone. And they actually do a really good job of that, because they stick up for the guys that don't perform well. So I give them credit. They're doing their job, but it's not in the best interest of the sport. So there has to be an answer where the league says, listen, I hear you, and we can have rewards for guys that do a good amount of time and don't get in trouble and blah, blah, blah via money, but we can't have them calling game 2 of the World Series. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is a way around everything. There is a way for the league to say, I hear you, and I'm going to give you a little extra money so that you're not calling this game, but we're still saying you did a great job.
It is an honor. It is an honor to be in the World Series. I know every one of these umpires, they're showing up to the field, they're 3-piece suits, they're decked out, they're walking, they're walking the entire field to make sure everything is good. They're taking pictures, they're taking pictures with the managers, each other. This is a huge, huge moment. Not to take that away. All that we are saying is you want the best out there. You want the best out there. For their profession, I think most people want to do the best they can in their profession. I don't think they're any different, but there's also there's a set of, hey, here's your motivation. You want to get to the World Series? You got to come in the top 10 with, 3 ejections or less for the year. You got to come in the top 20 with 2 ejections or less. Like, there's ways to incentivize these guys, and it'll just create a better product. But what I think would be good, and I'm not good with my NFL names, but there's a guy that always does the replay when they have the Fox game of the week. Fox is doing the World Series. Why can't Fox go to retired umpire Angel Hernandez and have him on there during every replay and go to a split screen and see what Angel has to say about each one of these replays and what's going on?
and the zone, Kratz. I want them to talk about the zone. What do you think of the zone tonight? Well,
just get him
sucks.
and CB Buckner on the show. They should just have it like the Manny cast. It should be a Buckner and Hernandez cast. And if you're gonna ask Angel to be on there, then just put them both on there.
We can do it here. We'll do a watch along with Angel, CB. Who else can we get? Some active players.
I actually think Joe West would do a watch party with us at some point, just throwing it out there. So thanks, everyone. I wanted to make sure that we covered this at length because I promised you, I got a lot of texts in the past 24 hours. They're like, you guys going to crush this because no one else will. I'm like, yes, we will definitely talk about this. We will address this.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.